I downloaded stuff. I've never really checked. This topic deals a lot with trust. That's what it's about. To establish something as being trustworthy is quite a big thing.
You can definitely compare the ecosystem that we have in nature to the software ecosystem. We can learn a lot about dependencies in nature. And yeah, we are going to indeed create oxygen devices so we have oxygen for us. But why not just plant a tree?
One of our inspirational sources, which is also why I like this Nature 2.0 track, has always been the rhizome. And the rhizome is the network of roots under a set of trees. The tree doesn't know that he's at the edge of the forest. It doesn't know that it's at the middle of the forest. It doesn't know that there are other trees. However, it does communicate with the other trees that, hey, I'm dying, and I'm dying for this and this reason. And I think for software, we want to kind of achieve the same goal.
A future where we can just trust anything we come across seems very nice and very overly ideal probably, but worthwhile.
It's time to start making a radical change in the software world.
It's a weird time right now. There are a lot of things that feel like they could go very wrong at the moment.
So I was a little bit frustrated to see how many threats there are also in the software world. I'm every day sort of waiting for the software engineer to pull out that little domino block that is going to make the whole card house crumbling down.
The code is advancing fast, and I can write a 3 block of code, and my fellow programmer might say, hey, you can do this in 1 line, and I don't understand it anymore. Yeah. And I'm also afraid what robots can do.
All this software thing, we're not really built to comprehend that. And we are creatures that rely so much on these shortcuts that are most of the time amazing and excellent, and we can do things really quickly without knowing we're doing them. But in these kinds of cases, trying to assess if something is good or trustworthy all by ourselves in this huge system is just not something that we can very easily do. And most people will just use their heuristics, use their shortcuts and be like, yeah, that looks all right, click.
What we often try to do is we tend to think about how can we solve this problem as quick, dirty, easy as possible so we can use it and be happy.
Almost a miracle that we made it this far. When I was 6 or 7, I received a Commodore 64. And I fell in love with this concept of software, the malleability, how it evolves, how you can change it. It's almost at the speed of thought. You could create new things.
Since I was 16, high school, never was really the best student, to be honest. A big part of me really felt in the back of my head, I want to do something in this world. I want to make the world slightly a better change.
I really enjoy learning things. This seems like a great opportunity for me to learn a lot in a very short amount of time.
Maybe with software development, I can do something, right? Maybe in the future I can be a part of a change and do something big.
We basically want to collect data around how well is software to be trusted, and then we want to distribute this data within the ecosystem, preferably in a distributed way, because nobody should be the boss of this. It should be us, the community, saying this software is good and this software is trustworthy.
I literally got goosebumps. I was like, this is it. With this thing that he wants to build, it's huge, it's very complex and hard to understand, but we can make a change with this.
That natural way of the open source movement to self-organize, self-cleanse has been the best way. And this way of thinking is what we also want to bring with TrustSECO.
It can help in this evolution and development of advances such as AI by creating basically a trusted framework where trusted sources are listed.
Adapting these things that help almost extend our mind and compensate for the things that we can't do as well.
One of our biggest questions right now is how do we calculate trust? We want to talk to engineers and ask them, why is software trustworthy to you and why is other software not? Also interesting, many cases software engineers are not that interested in trust. How do I deal with this problem that it's just the air they breathe and they assume that it's going to be okay software, even though there are many ways to screw them over. We don't know what is the best consensus mechanism. How do we implement the underlying DAO?
We want to create the biggest community as possible so we can all become part of one big team and help each other.